Being recorded.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. This is the Diamond Factory. Welcome. I'm Dr. Roz, VP of Communication here at Akana. And Diamond is our highest ranking in our company. And diamonds are made. Yes. And that's what's happening in all of our lives. If you're here, that's happening in your life. This is Wednesday, the day I get to share. I am in the process of I'm in the process. I have just recently, in the last 2 months, I guess it's been, got a tower garden. Some of you have been on when we had the garden Zoom, where people are growing their own stuff, going back to the old days when we grow our own stuff. That's when you had stuff that was clean without the insecticides and pesticides. So we've got a couple people that have led us to tower gardens, and Mike Newsom's wife is one of them, Trish. And so I have gotten a tower garden, and in the midst of growing, and everybody knows me, the reason I got a tower garden is because I didn't want to do nothing. I wanted it to be totally self-contained. And so the tower garden does that. It grows everything you need, whatever comes with it, all these different lettuces. They're beautiful. I'm in the midst of my first harvest. Amazing. And the lights come on and off, and just like the sunlight, the water sitting in the bottom of it, so it waters itself. All that's great. I ain't got to put my hands in no dirt. I don't have to worry about no bugs. Maybe a gnat or something here now and then. But that's my whole focus about the tower garden. And then I learned something as I finally got this app. It's an app on your phone that tells you everything it's going to do, but it also tells you what you have to do. So I discovered there was something I did have to do. I had to prune it, and I had to harvest it, and I had to change the water every so often. But the pruning and the harvesting was a little bit more work than I had anticipated. And it gave me a metaphor, because the tower garden is all about life and growth and preparation for more life and for more growth. And so I understood that I wanted to do it because I wanted to avoid the bugs and the digging and the mess. And so I realized there were still some things I had to do. And the two things that I want to focus on this morning are the pruning and the harvesting. Now, the pruning in the garden, it causes you to go there. You see your leaves flourishing, but down close to the root or close to the dirt, there's some little bitty leaves. And so the video that came with the app said, go and cut the little leaves so that they make room for more nutrients and growth to come to the leaves that are larger. And it made me think about my life, because we always have something that we need to prune. In gardening, pruning removes the dead or the overgrown parts to encourage healthy growth. In life, it might mean letting go of something that no longer serves us. Because see, if something served you in 2019, it may not be serving you, benefiting you in 2024. And too often we tend to not want to let go of stuff. I'm thinking of the scripture where God spoke to Abraham and told him to leave Lot behind. And if you know anything about that story, he took Lot with him. But until he left him behind, until he didn't have a choice, he was not able to get the fullness of the vision that God had for his life. And so I recognize that as we're entering into 2025, I'm starting to take an inventory of myself, an inventory of my life, an inventory of my surroundings, an inventory of the people that are in my life. There's a friend of mine years ago. She had a voicemail, and it was beginning of the end of one year and beginning of the next year. And her new voicemail said, if you're getting this message, I've changed my number. I'm changing some things. And if you don't have my new number, you're one of them. Now, that was pretty abrupt, but she was cutting some folk out of her life. Because if they didn't get her new number, if she didn't personally give it to them, she was letting them know, I'm cutting you out. So in pruning, you're going to remove those things. And in life, it means letting go of things that don't serve us. And we have to take that inventory. Is this serving me? Is this causing me to progress? Is this supporting my business? Sometimes it's a toxic relationship. Sometimes it's a bad habit. And unfortunately, many of us, we promote bad habits. I mean, we glorify them. Girl, I'm always late. That's not something to talk highly about. Child, I can't never do nothing right. No, no, no. See, that's glorifying a bad habit when we don't want to take responsibility to work on it, to change it. Well, maybe it's an outdated goal or even unnecessary distractions. I mean, we could teach a whole message on distractions because all of us get distracted throughout the course of a day. And we have to wake up every day saying, today, I will not be distracted, right? So for the new year, I'm challenging Akana Nation to ask yourself, what do I need to cut back on to make room for new growth? That's the pruning. Now, the harvesting part, harvesting is the reward, right? And I believe it's harvest time in many of our lives because you've been sowing, you've been doing the things, you've been putting the work in. And too often, we give up just before the harvest. That's why the farmer is so magnificent how the farmer operates, because the farmer doesn't see anything until the manifestation takes place, but yet he still continues to go out to the field to prune, to garden, to cultivate, to nurture the seed, because he knows there's a law that's in effect. So when it comes to harvesting, that's the reward from nurturing your plants, but it doesn't happen automatically. That's what I didn't recognize. Some point I got to go and cut some of those leaves. I was able to fix a salad. And this salad didn't have any pesticides, insecticides, all of that sides. It didn't have any of that in it, right? The freshest salad I've ever had. But I had to do something. I still had to go and do the harvesting. It did not happen automatically. The leaves just didn't fall off the tower garden. So you got to recognize when it's time and when it's the right action for the harvest. In life, harvesting, what does that mean? It means we recognize that we've done something good. We've celebrated accomplishments. I love it when we open up the line sometimes and give yourself credit for what you've done. Don't look over your life in 2024 and say everything was bad. Find something that was good. Accomplishment. That's why I love it when Melissa gets on the call and she recognizes the accomplishments of people and when they've achieved this, when they've hit 500 and 1,000 and 2,500 and 5,000 CV, when they've reached, we don't hear it as much as often, we need to say it more, when they reach Pearl and Ruby and Jade and Diamond and Emerald, when they reach those areas of their life, when you've got a new customer after believing for a new customer, you got your first new customer. I mean, we probably need to holler from the mountaintop. I got my first customer. I just joined. I got my next customer. And if nobody does it, do it for yourself. Because we got to recognize and celebrate. That's what's the problem with most corporate jobs. There's no celebrating. There's no recognizing how hard you work. How many of you worked on jobs? You worked hard. You worked hard and you made them money and you didn't even get a pat on the back. You definitely didn't get a raise. But that's the beauty of being self-employed, because now you can say, look at what I've done. I've caused this to happen. And I always say this, even if you haven't reached the rank that you wanted to reach in 2024, I bet you're further than you were when you started in January. You whether you know it or not, you are. If you're not further monetarily, you're farther in knowledge. You're farther in self-development. so that 2025 can be an even better year. So it's harvest time, taking advantage of opportunities when you're harvesting, reaping the benefits of your hard work. So here's another challenge for the new year. Reflect on what you've accomplished and prepare to act on new opportunities in 2025. And then the other thing that I recognized about the Tower Garden, there's still some ongoing care, because often the app tells me I've got to refresh the water. I've got to add some little plant food that goes into the water. So there's still some things that I have to do as keeping the ongoing care for the water, the nutrients, and the maintenance. The same thing takes place in our own lives, self-care, a routine of self-care, a routine of spiritual growth and goal setting. So in essence, what I want you to receive from this metaphor of Tower Garden, pruning and harvesting to our own lives is we got to prune our lives. Think about what's holding you back from succeeding in Akana. What's holding you back from succeeding in any venture that you're doing in your life right now? What's holding you back? And more than likely, you're going to have to be honest and recognize that the only thing can hold you back is you. Our own habits, our own level of commitment, our own relationships that either need to be removed or reshaped. But we got to be intentional about simplifying what we see. And then, secondly, harvest. Harvest your hard work. Look at the progress you've made this year and see if you can find some achievements that you recognize or you enjoy, and celebrate them. If don't nobody pat you on the back, pat yourself on the back and turn that hard work into tangible results in the coming year. And get ready. Like TD Jakes would say, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready for the growth that's about to take place in your life, in your relationships, in your business. We're preparing for the growth. I'm always reminded of a song that Daryl Coley sings. He's preparing me for something I'm not ready for right now, but he's preparing me so that when I get there, I'm ready for it. Just like the garden needs that ongoing care, so do our goals and our dreams. So let's plan for it. Let's start planning now. People make resolutions. I don't do the resolution thing, but I do plan. I make plans. Make plans now. I don't have to wait for January 1 to start planning for 2025. 2025, guys, is going to be a great year. I decree it. I speak it. I speak it into every one of your lives right now. 2025 is your year. And if you were next to somebody who did some great things in 2024, guess what? You were next to them, so that means you're next in line. So sit down and prepare and plan and get your goals in place. Now, it will take some discipline. You'll have to stay disciplined. Like I said, like I thought it was just going to do its own thing all by itself. No, a little bit of stuff I've got to do. And now I'm willing to do that. Are you willing to do it? Because it really is your year to prepare for, to flourish. So let's start making our goals and planning for it. Some of us have already been talking about that we're going to get ready to start doing our detox beginning of the year. So we want other folk to join with us and begin to detox. So get ready for breakthroughs to take place in your lives. And trust the process that happens. For something's going to blow up in 2025. It hits you, it might be on January 1st, but trust the process. Trust the process and watch what's going to take place. Have a great day, everybody. We got things always going on in Chicago. This is, what day is this? This is Wednesday, right? Always some fantastic things taking place. And the 1 o'clock session, then get ready for Thursday. And we'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time. Have a great Akana kind of day. Bye for now.